Hey everybody, welcome to Fantasy R&R. I'm your host Ryan, and this episode is titled Breakout Star of 2021.
This is Fantasy with Rob and Ryan, Fantasy R&R.
Okay, so a couple of episodes ago I was talking about the breakout team of 2021, went with the Washington Redskins. We did correctly call Fitzpatrick going to the Redskins. Congratulations to us for that, pat myself on the back. However, now I'm going to make an even bigger leap. I am going to say Jalen Hurts is the biggest breakout star of 2021. This guy didn't get a whole lot of time to prove himself last year. We saw a lot of flip-flopping with the coaching staff on the Eagles, going between Wentz and Hurts, and even in that last game where they put in Nate Sudfeld to try and finish the job. Needless to say, I have my concerns about what the Eagles are going to do with some of their draft picks, but let's try to come up with a few scenarios in which Jalen Hurts is set up for success. Now, obviously, we're looking at new head coach Nick Sirianni to do a good job. He did have a pretty productive stint with the Indianapolis Colts, using Jacoby Brissett to the best of his ability, and Phillip Rivers having a pretty decent year before his retirement. We want to see how that shapes out in his support for Jalen Hurts. The other thing that's really going to help Jalen Hurts out is the return of Lane Johnson on his offensive line. We're hearing that he's probably going to be on track to play in 2021. This is going to be a great boost for his ability to scramble and stay protected in the pocket and kind of help his completion percentage, which wasn't that great last season during the time he played. And yes, his statistics weren't all that impressive, but they didn't really tell the whole situation. He only had a 52% completion percentage, 6 touchdowns through the air, 4 interceptions, 1,000 yards, a couple of fumbles. Factor in the fumbles that he didn't lose, there might even be more, but he did do really good running the ball, 63 carries for 357 yards, 3 TDs. Jalen Hurts was actually averaging about 10.3 fantasy points per game just on his feet alone. To tell you the truth, what he actually reminds me of is 2018 Lamar Jackson, who didn't have a whole lot of time to play when Flacco was still on the team. Then they get to the playoffs, he kind of flounders there against the Chargers. The next year takes a big jump up in productivity and then becomes the MVP of the league. Now, we have to factor in all these rumors that the Eagles were looking to take a quarterback at the number 6 draft spot. I'm going to go ahead and say they don't. Let's look at a scenario like the Eagles going after Jamar Chase, or maybe even Jalen Hurts' former teammate Devontae Smith first with that number 6 pick. This is going to give them great depth at the wide receiver position. There may be some people out there who look at the initial roster for the Eagles and think, wow, their wide receivers aren't that great. But just hear me out here. Greg Ward is a totally capable wide receiver. Travis Fulgham, although I think he was like a 6th-round draft pick, this dude is actually quite a hard worker and a bit of a baller, and I think he might take a jump up. He's probably going to stay in their wide receiver 3 territory, but he's going to get the nod over guys that haven't panned out, like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. I think you've also got John Hightower back there and Khalil Tate. There's a lot of depth in the wide receiver position on the Eagles, but we're really going to be looking towards Jalen Reagor to take a giant step up in production this year, and I think he will. Now, I also want to see them go after Devontae Smith and potentially Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase, I think, is going to be an explosive wide receiver in this league, just like I thought DK Metcalf would be. I always love those guys with a lot of size and athleticism, like the Calvin Johnson types. As long as they've got the good hands and the speed, at that size, they can do a lot of things to their defender physically that makes it possible for them to be highly productive on the field. You add in the fact that Miles Sanders is more than capable of producing a healthy run offense, and I think they're going to be set up for success with some weapons. One thing to note is we might see the exit of Zach Ertz. I'm actually someone who thinks that with the way the free agent market has shaped up and the way the draft's looking, the Jaguars should probably be going after Ertz and trying to trade a couple of 3rd, 4th round picks to the Eagles for him, or they're going to end up drafting somebody. If they don't, I'm not sure that Ertz gets a contract done, but that's okay because I'm really big on Dallas Goedert, and as long as Goddard can stay healthy, I think he's going to be an excellent replacement for Zach Ertz at the tight end position. All of these things are going to give Jalen Hurts the tools he needs to be successful in this league, and it's just up to him and the coaching staff whether or not it's executed properly. And those aforementioned rumors I was talking about, where the Eagles may go after a quarterback with their 6th pick, or even trade for Deshaun Watson, even with all the crazy sexual claims against him right now by women, which, let's not get into that, but that's a smoke show at the moment. I think that this is going to light a fire under Hurts' butt, and when he's in the offseason training, he's going to be coming back harder and more determined than ever to make his case for why he was a second-round pick after his championship run in the NCAA. There may be some of you guys out there doubting him. Trust me, if you've got the room on your team, just stick Jalen Hurts on your bench as a stash option for 2021. I really do think that between the air and his legs, he could be putting up 4,000 yards and 30 TDs and quite possibly leading the Eagles into a playoff position just based off his legs alone. I believe in him. I've believed in him for a while. If you go back in the past of my videos, you'll actually see an episode where I was calling for him to start over Wentz. I think Jalen Hurts has deserved this. You can't just crap out on a guy after 9 starts. This is his time to shine, and I really do believe that he could make the biggest jump from last season to this season. And I'm a huge Tua fan, so I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say Tua does not do as well next year compared to last year as Hurts does. Hurts is going to be the breakout star. I think he's going to have a Lamar Jackson 2019 MVP-like season. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is going to be MVP. I'm saying he's going to make a jump where he's up there in that category, and people are starting to look at him like a viable fantasy option and a viable playoff QB. But of course, don't take my word for it. Let's all just hang out for a few months, see how things unfold. This could blow up in my face, and maybe he's not even the starter in a couple of months when the season gets going. But I'm going to hold on to that hope and belief. I say Jalen Hurts does start the 2021 season with the Eagles, and I think he absolutely balls out. And that's what I'm going with here. Once again, my name is Ryan. I'm your host of Fantasy R&R. I will see you next time.